Can you remember? Can you remember today? We continue with our memorial service. Our memorial service today, we want to remember where we have come from with the PF government under President Lungu. And to remember properly, I have invited two interesting guests. One is Mbototo, who I get a and then I also have Gregory Chifire. Hey, Shanyoko.
Hey, bueno, Bwanji.
Bueno. So what we'll do is I'll ask you, Gregory, to remind us, to pick it up from here, to remind us where we are coming from as a country under the PF government of Mr. Edgar Chagwa Lungu. We want to remind ourselves, even as we go to vote tomorrow, we need to remember, what am I voting for? Why am I voting for what I'm voting? So let's kick it with you, Gregory.
All right, thank you. I think we have a lot of events that we can remember from 2011 to date, but maybe for the interest of viewers, we shorten the period from maybe around 2016. What comes to mind vividest is the fact that when the PF came into office, I think they had a deliberate policy, an unwritten policy of silencing citizens. We saw a regime in our time where cadres were given more powers than the police, than anybody else. They created a society where everyone else became a secondary citizen but them. Zambia could not speak. When they are not happy, they air their grievances. They are punished in one way or the other. It was a situation where if you want to survive, you keep quiet. If you speak, you're selling in a market, the chairman will chase you. If you're a bus driver, you speak, you'll be chased from the rank. They now created a situation where people could not speak, but anger was bubbling within people. To such an extent that they didn't even know the mood in the country because no one wanted to tell the truth. It reached to a certain extent now, to some extent, that these cadres had so much power that they could harass police. We even saw a situation where a PF cadre went to Central Police to go and attack at the Central Police, really a Central Police in Lusaka, a PF cadre with such power. We even went to an extent of seeing same cadres, another group of cadres going to harass civil servants, threatening to hound out civil servants. Really, we lived in fear.
Can I just remind ourselves, I think we have a video to that effect, so that we just don't make noise. We can...
All right, okay.
Some patriotic front youths in Lusaka today ambushed a female government worker under Transport and Control Unit. They claim they have information that she is United Party for National Development UPND supporter and a sympathizer. They addressed her as Madam Sherry. Madam Sherry was taken from her office to that of the Permanent Secretary of Works and Supplies. In the presence of the not-talking peers, she pleaded with the youth of her innocence, but all they wanted her was out of the office with immediate effect. The youths, led by Charles Kakula, have pledged to release all information.
Yes, who is against the government? Yes. You elected guy. So what you are going to do, don't step into that office. Don't we the youth of this nation want her. We are here. We don't want her to do that office. Question that office. Frustrating the government.
That she is a UPND supporter. They have even vowed to see her out of the office and promised to burn her alive.
We have evidence. We have evidence. If she wants, she can even go to court. We have enough evidence that she's against the government of the day and she's a UPNG cadre. Yes, full-time cadre. We don't want Madam Sherry. And we don't want Madam Sherry. Madam Sherry, Madam Sherry got come office and we have locked the office. Because we don't want her. We don't want her. Yes.
Now, the question that begs answers is, doesn't one have the right to belong to any political party for as long as they don't take it to their respected office? Have simple cadres been given such authority? Or maybe Zambia's political landscape has lost directions? One wonders. Liambela Mutumba, KBN, Lusaka.
Thank you very much to KBN for that report. And Comrade Kifile, that's what you were talking about. So just wanted to remind our viewers where we are coming from. What does the history of Zambia under President Lungu look like? So you can continue.
Now, look, are you able to hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So now, look at that situation. Madam Sherry is not the only one. There could be other Sherrys that maybe the cameras did not pick. The sum total of this is that civil servants are working in fear. Instead of discharging their duties, they are looking on their shoulders to see which cadre will come to harass me. We need to respect civil servants. These are non-partisan people. They discharge their duties in a non-partisan way. It doesn't matter. Everyone has got a right to belong to any political party of their choice. It's constitutional. But doing what the cadres are doing is beneath dignity. We need sanity in government. We need leadership. Really? Of course, this is not the only incident that Zambians have been graced with since 2016. There have been so many. The cries, of course, have fallen on deaf ears. There have been instances where gathering of citizens has been a crime. We have seen situations where, for the first time in the history of Zambia, there have been full militarization of the Zambia police service. It looks like the Zambia police service has been given power even to maim and kill innocent citizens. As opposed to protecting life and property of citizens, we have seen citizens being murdered in cold blood by the police. But very little has been done. The only incidents that we've seen there was an inquest was on the issue of the death of Sama, the prosecutor, and the other PF member a few months ago. But this is not the beginning. We saw a girl called the Vespas killed in cold blood by the police. Up to now, we don't know who killed the Vespas. Everyone is quiet. But you know, when you're leading people, you must protect the people. We are not animals. We are human beings. But where has this culture come from, where politicians feel like they are bosses? They can do as they wish. No. We are the bosses. We should tell politicians what they need to do.
So, comrade, I want to remind our viewers that about Vespas, just in case they have forgotten about who is Vespas and what happened, I want to remind our viewers with a visual aid.
Born on 24th November 1993, Vespas Simujila met her fate while studying at the University of Zambia in her 4th year before she could complete next year. Proceedings of the burial went on well at Kantengwa village where the late resided. Several mourners and students traveled to pay their last respect to the late Vespas Simujila.
Vespas, I know.
Baby, I'll miss your calls. Remember, as I was coming from Abondo each and every time. Baby, where are you? Yes, I will miss your calls. Nevertheless, the glorious morning is coming. Yes,
It was emotional when it came to the parents to pay their last send-off of their daughter.
Blessed be the name of the Lord. The Lord.
However, Namwala Member of Parliament Mona Lubezi was also among mourners and could not hold her grief as she gave her comment on the death of Vespers.
It's unfortunate that for us in Namwala, this is the second time for the same family that lost somebody was lost in It's really, really sad. More so, especially for this one. She was in a room and a lawmaker. I don't know any law in Zambia that allows a police officer to throw tear gas in an enclosed area with people who are sleeping. I'm not aware of such law. And you know that gives me a question. Are we dealing with professional police officers? I don't know what training they are given.
It was a touching moment as mourners continued shedding tears as the casket lowered down and shouted, "Farewell, farewell, farewell Vespers Chimuzila." Kazala Habanda, Prime TV News, in Tatengwa village of Namwala district in Southern Province.
Yes, so for those that can remember, Vespers was a student at the University of Zambia, and whilst university students were protesting, Vespers with her friends were still in a room sleeping, and the police, under the command of their superiors, went and tear gassed in a room, and she died. So, Comrade Chifire, you can continue with your presentation.
Yes, the story of Vespers is really, really very sad. As far as I can remember, no one has been punished for this death. The Human Rights Commission wrote a report that implicated the police. The police service has done nothing. Today, the Inspector General of Police is still the same, he's still there. We are appealing to him and appealing to the entire police service that they should exhibit professionalism, especially during this time of elections. It worries us when citizens are killed like Vespers in cold blood like this. It worries us when the police behaves in the way that it is behaving. Zambia is not a police state. And I want also to sound the dislike that the manner that the police has selectively been dealing with issues in this country. There are two laws. There are laws for first-class citizens who belong to the ruling party and to the rest of us. But this is not the way it is supposed to be. Citizens could not be allowed to gather by the police. When they gather, they are given charges of unlawful assembly. I know citizens have forgotten how some people in Ndola went to discuss the budget at a church. They were arrested. Some citizens may have forgotten how civil society, politicians, and any other member of society has not been allowed to gather. If I may give you statistics, outside the campaign period, there has only been one permit issued to civil society. and politicians to gather. Only one. But members of the Patriotic Front have been gathering as they wish. They will go to Parliament building to harass members of Parliament. Nothing would happen. There's members of the civil society that went to do a petition with written permit from the police. I think, Comrade Pilato, you are one of them. You were arrested at the precinct of Parliament building. Meanwhile, cadres went there without permit. You are not arrested. So police has been very unprofessional, very partisan. We've got a partisan police service. We're even wondering why the president is still keeping the Inspector General of Police, despite in December last year having said that he had given the Inspector General of Police 6 months in order to clean the police service and give the report on the happenings behind the death of Sama and the other UPND member that was killed a few months ago, I think around December. But nothing, despite the report having been given, we don't remember that the president renewed Mr. Kanganja's contract. As far as we know, Mr. Kanganja is working without contract. Why is the president keeping him? Because the president said that this man is incompetent. So we have got a problem as a country.
And we agree
now,
with the president.
We also saw the incidences where citizens were being gassed throughout the country. But the report has been swept under the carpet. Many people lost their lives. There was a lot of discomfort. The police, I remember one of the, I think someone from the police made a statement that made the headway in arresting the mastermind behind the gas scene. But that man lost the job. We don't know the reason, can only speculate that he lost the job because he told the truth. Because telling the truth to power, this time around, it is an offense. I don't know, comrade, if you have any record to that to remind the people.
Let me remind the people on the gassing, what we heard from the police, the official statement from the police on gassing was given by Madam Charity Katanga, who is the deputy IG now.
Rushed there, said no, he has gone inside the ceiling board. I was the paramilitary police officers. They entered the ceiling board. They couldn't see him. After some time, we just saw a cat walking and disappeared. Again, we went at another place. Then, equally, they attempted to remove the iron sheets. So that's what they are doing. Then you find that even the other places in Changa, also it's the same. So, as indicated, it's one group. And these criminals just want to destroy, to suffocate, because most of those, the cases that I mentioned, like today we had 8 cases. Yesterday we had 158. Of those, others are just attended to and discharged, including those yesterday. Then as the days are going, others are reducing. That is what is happening. When you're in this place, sometimes they do it spontaneous. It's really like it's a well-orchestrated move. We can't rule out other interest groups which have come, because it's like it's coordinated. They seem to have a common cause. They are fighting for something, and other issues. That is what is happening. Because really, if they were ritual murderers, they would have been finishing these people. But it's like they want to trouble them, again they come. So what is happening now to police is, it's zigzag. It's like we go, no, here, then we have about even 50 calls. That is what is happening. And sometimes they would even go back to the same houses. So yesterday when we were checking, we said, now we are going to We are going to kill one cat. Tried to fire at one. Now cats started reducing. But sir, we'll get there.
No, I think I just want to commend the efforts that you're making in getting these substances. And I think we need to intensify more foot patrols. And the fact that you have decided to do away with CCPU for now, the community, it will be helpful, because you never know who is hiding where. Because among, especially that you don't have those regularized properly, it's even difficult.
There were pockets of resistance yesterday. It took a lot of time just to...
No, it shouldn't be the case, because the mandate they have is temporal in nature, and is as and when, so they shouldn't be any resistance.
So according to that statement from the Deputy IG now, the gassers were cats. And when they wanted to fire at the gassers, the cats were, first of all, zigzag. They were going zigzag. Quack, 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 quack. And then after zigzag, then they were becoming small. Eh? So now maybe you comrades should help me sing sausage, sausage, sausage. Because when you are frying a sausage, chimankara chingono, then chikapita pasara di chakula. So I think maybe that's where the Deputy IG was also trying to remember. So yes, comrade, that is a statement that we got from the police on gassing, and the Madam Charles Katanga at that time was the police commissioner for the Copper Belt. She was in that statement saying that Magassas were turning into cats. I don't know how scientifically true that could be, or how possible that could be, coming from a professional body called the Zambia Police, doing a professional investigations, and how they concluded that it was actually the people that were gassing that were turning into cats. You can continue, comrade.
Yes, sorry, comrade. Your volume is a bit low. I'm struggling to get you.
Are you using a Chinese phone?
Sorry?
Are you using a Chinese phone?
Yes, I'm using a Chinese phone because that's what the economy can afford.
Okay, comrade, continue with your memory, with your remembrance.
All right, okay. Yeah, thank you very much for that refreshment from the Deputy IG now. Though I could have loved that maybe if she had an opportunity to tell us more their investigations, because cats zigzagging and all don't make a professional sense to us. And especially that a lot of lives were lost. There's just this school of thought that was formed by citizens, and I think they have got a right, in the absence of information, citizens have got a right to conclude that perhaps the gassing was staged by certain powerful individuals. I think they have got the right to think, because they don't know the truth. They've got the right to speculate. I've heard people now even go to an extent of saying perhaps it is the state that was behind this. They have got the right to think that way, because the state is quiet. Despite those allegations, the state has also remained quiet. So who is behind the gassing? We are going to elections now. Perhaps others will get a new mandate or a new government will come in. We may not know who is behind the gassing. But is this the way that we are going to govern this country? We are questioning the way the patriotic front government is discharging its duties, because they're supposed to respect citizens. Respect of citizens goes to as far as being transparent. If you're not transparent, it means you don't respect the people that you govern. That is why we have seen in instances where there have been also issues of people embezzling public funds, cases of corruption being rife, extents where there have been issues of people even getting mukula tree. No one has been held responsible. I mean, there are a lot of questions that beg answers. 5 years has come and 5 years has gone. Nobody is telling us the truth. Must we live with this kind of thing where our government is keeping information to itself? They are not telling us the truth. Corruption has become the order of the day. No one is arrested. Should they be arrested? The courts enter questionable knowledge. Is this how we are going to live? I can cite a number of cases of corruption, but this program will be, the time on this program will not accommodate because there are so many. But the bottom line is, what narrative has this government created in the minds of the citizens? And they are the same people that still want votes from us when there are so many stories that are still fresh in our mind. What do they take us for? That we are dumb, we are stupid, we are fools, or what? What I know is that Zambians are intelligent. In as far as many people say that we are docile, in our docility, we are intelligent and patient. We won't go to the streets. We may not go to the streets to demonstrate because Mr. Kanganja and his boys will beat us. But our demonstration is in our hearts. We wait for 5 years to go and demonstrate. So tomorrow, Zambians have got that opportunity to either give this government another 5 years, or they are going to protest in the way they know best through the ballot. Remember, in 1991, Dr. Kaunda thought was infallible. He even went to an extent of calling the opposition as frightened little men. He didn't realize the anger, the extent of anger in the citizens. Zambians know best how to protest. You can do whatever you want. They are waiting for you because they know the right time will come. And when that right time comes, they know what to do. And our prayer, which has always been the same throughout, is that may the will of the people be respected. Politicians have danced in the dance hall for 5 years. Now it is time for us to judge who has been dancing, who has been giving the best dance. And we do that with ballot paper. Remember also, not long ago, City Market was burned. We are told all sorts of crazy stories. Who has been arrested there? Do we have investigators in the police? People lost goods. Then yesterday someone says they will compensate the people who lost goods in City Market. Are we stupid? Are we serious? Really? Are we? After how many years are you compensating us? Don't think we are down. We are not down. We think perhaps there are people who are more clever than the people in government. The only difference is that those ones have got an opportunity to stay in those offices. The others who are intelligent, more intelligent than them, they just didn't have an opportunity to stay in those offices. So respect us also, because we also think we are not children. So let us not play this politics when it's time for elections. I wish you had the song, There's a song I like playing that Vakesa to Zembeka. When it's it's the same thing. This has been happening over and over. But now, I think now, this generation is different. Eh? We know. We may not tell you, we just know that, but this guy is stupid. He thinks we are down. Then when time to vote comes, we know how best to do it. So there are so many events. Now, someone also goes and procures rotten drugs, Panado, rotten, and feeds people. Condom, broken condom, gives people. Then we clap for them and say, well done, sir. Well done. Thank you. We are not fools. We have been procuring drugs in Zambia for many years. It's the first time that such rotten Panado has been procured. You ask this one, has no answer. You ask the other one, has no answer. Who has procured that? What happened? For the first time in the history of this country, the Ministry of Health has recorded, go to where they keep there at the stores, at the medical stores.
Medical stores.
Recorded the highest number of drugs getting expired. Well, when you go to Chawama Clinic, they call it a level 1 clinic, or Chingwere Clinic. Today, I can challenge you today, there are no drugs. But drugs get rotten at medical stores. The drugs, they get expired at medical stores. What was their lifespan? Who procured those drugs? It's a shame. Now, today, this last week, we are told that they bought tricycle ambulances at 8.5 million.
US dollar.
Ladies and gentlemen, countrymen, is this how we're going to run the country? Where have you seen that thing operating? I have not, maybe because I'm in Zambia, but at least I could have seen one on the internet or anywhere where it is functioning. The price of 120,000 kwacha equivalent. One small thing. That thing maybe is 10,000 in India. Those things are procured from India. Maybe it's 10,000. How long are we going to live where prices of goods and services are being bloated? Because someone wants to eat in Chekereko at the expense of the poor. For how long? Yes, you are here boasting about infrastructure development. You have built roads. At what cost? Do you know that per kilometer construction of roads in Zambia is the highest in the region? Why is it so? No, there's something wrong somewhere. Yes, thank you for the roads. Thank you for those bridges you have built for us at Munali, at Arcades, at Makeni, wherever. But at what cost? You even tell us, I said, no, this is loan from India. But who is going to pay? It's not free money. Exaggerated costs. People have gotten rich because, look, these guys are so clever. They know where they're going to have money. How much is the airport, the international airport? How much was spent there? A lot of money, because they know in infrastructure, that's where they steal money. Then Zambians should clap and say, please, you are building and then you are stealing, it's okay. Today we are in debt. Next year, 3 Eurobonds fall due on the same day. 3. Are we going to manage to pay? We have not been paying the interest. We suspended payment of interest of Eurobonds because we don't have money. This is the country that we say we care. Meanwhile, the country is getting poorer. Cadres, ordinary cadres, they are getting richer. Look at how they flaunt their ill-gotten wealth. Bundles of money, houses, expensive cars, VX 2020, a car that doesn't work anywhere. It's a shame. We are ashamed, and then we clap, and then we go and say everything is okay. No, sir. Say whatever you want, but that is wrong. People are dying. They are hungry today. Believe you me, I think I heard Mbototo somewhere in an interview, I think with the BBC or somewhere, saying that today you have to think when to eat. Your meal, you have to put it in between, maybe at 14 hours. That's where your breakfast, lunch, and supper should be. You time it nicely. Is that how we're going to live? Eating is becoming a luxury, comrades.
Mabombana economy ya mkabobabo. Mabombana economy ya mkabobo.
Tayopa se. Vanhu vutika. Now, some people have audacity to now go and say we want to continue. We should have morality. Sometimes and stay away. But Africans, I don't know, sorry to say, or blacks or Zambians being what we are, we lack morality. I may sound insulting, I'm sorry if I sound that way, but that's what we are. If we fail, we should have the moral compass to direct us into resignation. But we don't have that. I'll tell you, I remember very well. I went to Central Police. There are some young men, some young friends of mine were arrested because they intercepted a truck of mukula. I don't know if you remember that.
Yes.
How many have been arrested? Those trucks, they vanished. Do you remember that story? No
Yes,
one has
I
been
do.
arrested.
Yes, I do. I do.
I wish you had record for that to remember, to remind our people. But very well, if you don't
have the record. I have the record. So what I have is a report from the American Environmental Organization that produced a report, and I would want to play it so that we remind our viewers what you are talking about. Mukula tree.
Thank you.
This is a 4 minutes report, so be patient and follow it through so that you remind yourselves about mukula.
In Zambia, there has been national outcry regarding the illegal trade of a rare species of rosewood called mukula.
These are illegal traders. These are illegal people trading in mukula. Anyone who is transporting is illegally doing it.
Zambian President Edgar Lungu and his ministers have condemned the illegal trade, banning the cutting and export of this precious wood. What the Zambian people don't know is that behind closed doors, their politicians reportedly profit from the sale of mukula.
So what we are here is to try to buy some mukula.
That's what it is.
Yes. Can you still do
That's
it?
my business.
Oh, that's your business?
That's my business, yes.
Okay. Is that, we're concerned, is that impossible or is that illegal or legal?
It was illegal, but this state is open.
It's what?
It's open.
Now it's open.
People are taking it.
Okay. Secretively
but not
open?
to everybody.
Okay.
Not everybody. Only for professionals.
Okay. How many?
And even myself now, I alone, I cannot do it.
You cannot do it. Okay. Oh, you don't hire people?
Yeah. Government.
Of course.
Number 3.
Number 3. As a minister or?
Minister. Justice Minister.
The Minister of Justice, Mr. Given Lubinda, is apparently part of a network of top-level government officials involved in the illegal mukula trade, according to individuals involved in the trade who spoke to undercover investigators. This network reportedly includes the state-owned company Zafaco, the Minister of Land and Natural Resources Jean Capita, a senior chief in the Muchinga province, Kafula Musungu II, and even the president's daughter, Tasila Lungu.
Whatever comes in, she has an ear to the ground. She will, is it not?
Who is she?
The daughter.
The daughter of the president?
Yes.
Of course.
Whatever comes, the moment she gets wind of it.
What's her name?
Tasila.
Tasila.
Is a councillor.
The timber business is her side business.
The father knows everything.
This illegal trade is being driven by demand in China. Chinese traders admitted to paying off government officials to circumvent Zambian law, implicating President Lungu himself.
总统给不到，
总统的
部长以上。
部长以上，你部长都会不给钱？
我又不需要跟部长去接触，我接触的是总统身边的人。
While Zambians suffer from the reduction in public funds, increased power outages due to load shedding, salaries withheld from civil servants, and the rising cost of food, according to traders, money from the still thriving mukula trade lines the pockets of politicians. In August 2019, the International Convention on Endangered Species took important steps to protect mukula. These measures are only as good as their implementation. The apparent corruption and exploitation of the species raises grave concerns about how the International Convention will be enforced in Zambia. Zambia's forests urgently need protection from this mukula cartel before they are plundered to extinction.
That is the mukula cartel, mukula scandal, and reports by Environmental Investigation something, an organization in the US that did an investigation on our mukula and named a few individuals who are suspected or allegedly involved in this mukula trade. So that's what we are reminding our people, and you can continue, comrade.
Now, the report, I don't do justice by just allowing it to pass. Because we lost a lot of money. And individuals' names have been mentioned. The police has done nothing as far as I'm concerned. People have gotten rich at the expense of the nation. Will not recover the money from mukula. And it takes many years to grow one mukula tree. But yet, the money lines up the pockets of politicians. I want to challenge Ms. Jean Kapata because she was the Minister of Lands then. How the money raised from mukula was used. Tasila Lungu is there. She's the daughter to the president. No one is above the law. She now wants to go to parliament. But she has got something hanging on her head. You know, in law, they say, he who comes to equity must come with clean hands. She could have first of all cleaned her hands before seeking a higher office. She was just councillor then. Now, just as councillor and the daughter of the president, you can be involved in such a multi-million-dollar scandal. How much more when you're a member of parliament? And the president's daughter, if the father win. We are creating another Isabel dos Santos in Tasila. We don't know how much weight she is, but the rumor has it that she's one of the richest young women in this country. That's Isabel dos Santos where we are going. Isabel was of the same view that she would be untouchable. She had shares in Sanogo, she had shares everywhere, she had companies in Portugal, everywhere around the globe. But time will catch up with you. Because Zambians want to know, they have got this, they want answers. It's time, one day time will catch up. It may look like you are clever now, but time will catch up with you. The mukula saga is stinking. Mukula saga is very stinking. It will stick on these people. Whether they go out of government or they don't, will demand answers. One day we will need those answers. Says President Lungu, the name of the president should never be mentioned in scandals. God forbid. But here the name is mentioned. The head of state will respect him very much. I personally have great respect for that man. He holds the highest office in Zambia. He is our highest ambassador representing Zambia's interests. Hence his name should never come anywhere close to corruption or to any such deals. We could have been happy if he cleared his name because we know that this report reached him. So you see, there have been so many scandals. Have you forgotten the 48 houses? Eh? Houses cannot just build themselves from nowhere. Names were mentioned. The Anti-Corruption Commission just went mute and said the case is what? The case is closed. That is not enough. People should be punished. People should pay the price. They should pay the highest price. Now, just like this time around that they did not go to open Mungush textiles when it comes to voting time to close our eyes like this because we are down. Someone I think could have told them. But we know that perhaps tomorrow they open internet. Stop it, please. We are not stupid people. Don't annoy people. We need you to attend to these issues. How much you raised from Mukula? That Mukula could have paid meal allowance to students, universities and colleges. You now come and scrap meal allowance. Because your children are going to schools abroad, or you are able to fund to pay for your children because you have got money now. Even President Lungu, he is a beneficiary of meal allowance. He could not have finished university without meal allowance. Professor, thank you, a professor. You are running for the second highest office in the land. Remember that you were educated by Zambian money. You went to the University of Zambia, madam. You came from a poor family in Chinsali or wherever, just like many of us from poor backgrounds. How do you expect our children to survive? We have made our female children to be going into promiscuous activities. They have got blessers now because they want to do what? Their education. It's a pity. We are not supposed to live like that, like this in our country. We have the money. It's just that the money is being misused by people in authority. What I'm saying is not out of bitterness or anger. What I'm saying, everything I'm talking about here is on the record. If there's anything I've forgotten, comrade, please continue to remind me. But I'm following what has been published in newspapers, what has been there on internet. Zambians can easily go and follow. Look, it is for the first time again, I say, this government has been breaking records. Where we have a minister, serving minister in government, investigated by the Anti-Corruption Commission, found wanting, taken to court. From court, he goes to parliament to give a ministerial statement. From giving a ministerial statement, he flies in a Zambian flag, going to ministerial office. A shame. It never happens. Never. I'll give you an example. During President Rupia Banda's time, Doris Leah was accused of having been involved in the sale of Zamtel. A commission of inquiry was instituted.
Are you there, comrades? Yeah, Patoche. Hello, Bambo.
Yeah.
Shani.
Tulife bwino mfumu twarubira imongo oxide.
I think wachfire yapo soche yapo to talk time talk permission. So as we wait for him to come and conclude, we can start our interaction. So the idea was to the people. The idea was we wanted to hear Mr. Chfire's memories, and after we are done with him, then we can release him, and then we can remain with the two of us. And then after we hear, like we have remained, then we can allow as many people as possible to participate. I think Mr. Chfire is here. So, comrade, we lost you. You have 5 minutes to conclude, and then we can go into the next stage of the program.
Okay, sorry, it's the internet. Yeah, I was saying that we had ministers in this government who were in court, but they continued to serve in government. Are you able to hear me?
Yes.
Am I on? Okay, okay. Yeah. So we have broken the records as a government, as a country. It never happens in SADC, not even in Zimbabwe. Sorry to give the example of Zimbabwe, but it doesn't happen in the SADC. It is the first time. But the buck stops at the president. We wanted a president that is more proactive in fighting graft, in fighting corruption. When you go to the compounds, people think that this government is corrupt, and they've got the right to think that way. Then we hear a government officer or a party official saying the president has exhibited will to fight corruption. We just laugh and say, God forgive you. We are not children. We are praying that should it happen that Zambians give them a second mandate, they'll be able to root out corruption. Because where I stand, where I am, we are known to be a country of corruption. The president, I'm sorry so to say, is seen to have built a legacy around a legacy of corruption, which is very bad. So we are praying that things will be different as we go forward. We can give examples and examples and examples, but the bottom line is that tomorrow our people are voting. These are some of the things that will be reminding them as they go to the booth. You and me only have one vote. But what we are praying is that let it not be like in other failed states in Africa where voting means nothing. They say that those that count the votes are the ones that count. May God forbid. Let our vote be counted. Each vote should be taken to use. May the will of the people be seen to prevail. Whatever has happened, don't stay away. Go and vote. I won't finish my time because my network is seemingly misbehaving. But I've got faith in the people of Zambia that they made up their minds long time ago. Now, tomorrow, it is just that time to go and put the decision on paper. I'm sorry that, as you know, the PF is making mistakes. I've seen using the police, using the law to bar the opponents. That has been the order of the day. HH, or especially HH, he wants to go this way, they bar him. This is not the way to do politics.
Even
Let's
Mr. Kalava,
create a level playing field.
Even Mr.
For
Kalava
everyone.
faced same problems.
Sorry?
Even Mr. Kalava has had challenges where he's stopped from interacting or traveling to places
Mr.
where
Kalaba also has been stopped. But you know what that means? You know what that creates the impression of people? People get angry. They don't clap for you and say, you are stopping your friends from gathering. No, sir. People think that you are dictators. People get angry by that. And they want to punish you for those acts. Allow your friends to campaign freely. Then you'll be seen to say, really, this man is humble. This man is democratic. Now, I don't know who is advising those in the powers that be that by being tough, you are not being a good boy. You are being a rough guy and you are hated. Thank you, comrade. I can speak the whole night.
Thank you, comrade. We are very glad you agreed to be part of this discussion. I'm sure you can still join us, watch us on on Facebook and YouTube, so that you know what this other gentleman will be saying and what our people will be saying. So we'll be asking the viewers to share now their contributions. Thank you very much, comrade.
You're welcome.
Mask up, mask up, mask up, mask up. Honorable Bambala Bambaimwe.
Honorable Bambala Bambala.
Icharo chavena Kristu. Umafulava masambi. Okay, so Yama, Mwansen Pomkwa.
It's been a pleasure being invited to the platform. Can you remember? Yes, I can remember. Yeah, I can remember.
Shimikeni Tumfwe, before we invite people to join us, Shimikeni, I'm better for 5 minutes. I have to pangira my story. To send to mind at least things that from we Shafi. Then I'm going to invite our viewers to also remind us of what they remembered, what bothered them the most.
Inashia first mwemfumu diakwebati bonsi abama politicians oboturemuna in our various constituencies badi lubire tabale moneka sobe na ba besa mukulanda tumwina Zambia alalaba. The reason being that Zambia is a Christian nation where we practice forgive and forget. But inofona ishiba takwabo kuchita forget katfide twalaba kaidi ngawalaba uri mu class efo bami fundire mairo ngawala banishuri chikopo so ba politician efo batupishemo mairo lero ngatwala nishituri ba mungulu so ine inshallah batyaba badi lubire tabale monekolo bakwede so if badetele tekwe bati mfuego bakonkere ama voters card Yesu ma vote balefwa and then cha number 2 chakwe bati president head of state bali pa stage katwishinga ni nani ujyo munanko wali kusaidu ukwisa musontati ndiye bali na kasaka kandalama palina abantu abalechula amba no kutoloka kwa tiamanu katwishinga tikwa tako reminding ngalamba abika kona ka jogi ndiye bali na kasaka kandalama iliyena from my point of view head of state uri muchalo ichirechula abantu barechuchutika andi amari ashiyambita yayishirikwa fe nokwishiriko kanonga bari berenga pa news ero na ma news ukukwa ko batoko bafuatire mu news nieri ama news yako batichi paper chende na mu jacket ya muntu fimbino kuremba tabarenga and then chimbyo chonde ibukisha bayufi mwe bayufi mwe bikira timuye chita protest ila mwapantishe mpodio muilimu ukwisa chita deploy bakapokola kwatirimbi kuri umuntu uri na maguruneti kanshi ni ba youth yabarefu afyo kuchita protest no mbacharo chashani buteko bwashani ni kwisoko tabachita protest cause democracy ngapera example kwa America ni democracy but turamona abantu barechita protest but not abatumina bakapokola n'abapolisi n'amajobo n'abasuka kone mpilipili n'ababika na sepe kumashamboko kwatirimbi kuri nkondo Ilya I can remember and I'll always be remembering not until my ronka eponi vote and at least until apanga sense and then imbi nga ni paru nkoto umuntu atachika na paru nkoto epwemini nishite para dinduruka no kudinduruka umuntu waungesa kundati abantu bale complain ati economy na issue kwa bread ya duro kwisa kundati muleri ya kandolo bushe kandolo ipona fe kwati mana na ngukandolo tufuide tuwajima nomba kandolo tuwalali makwisa koza abantu abengi bale dandaurati indala na issue ebo indala moko shire issue pila murangi wako bati umwina Zambia ukukwata landi munocha Yesu cha Zambia yali shupa sana ngatwali kwa tuma landi fwebe kala chalo namba tika 200 by 200 mukona tiwa kula ka 2 rooms ukukwa shara tiwa lima ko kandolo ile barela nomba kandolo tuwalali mapesa wikala muri 2 rooms Can you remember?
Mamdara, yekanyeni, twimbe ko sausage, mwarumbura pafe yakulya ni sausage. Sausage.
Sausage.
Sausage.
Sausage.
Sausage.
Sausage. Sausage.
Yeah, very good.
So,
we joined by Catherine. Let's hear from Catherine. Catherine, hello.
Ashani hapo wa Mbototo. Ni muliro yalishibikwa. Ya bakamba ashani ba Pilato. Wino bwino. Ya bakamba inende ibukse. Ine remind onde ibukisha sana. Iya kumwa mapiku makada. Kada kwatamaka polisi acheperwamo. Ile yako batingo wafoko akubutukira para ule foko butuka tureya ule uzare kwa kaira kare ati ba polisi twale batina vinangwa mwana ve uniform ati ba polisi baresa washi bataka polisi abo kaina bakwatamaka tsona ngumuntu mpari ule kutinya fira kuyatana amkuzara ku polisi this time yali bipa ku polisi ngawaya ba polisi baretina vesi kukupshati nani wachikuma nangu nani wachikupoka. So right isanga mu situation yako bati ba police quite okay waya kulia na bena bale tinati barasa babome para pene ba police
kai ba police ngaba nda kuba pela matatu kumpa
ukushavutati abantu zona bale ko umutende wapo kwa bafati munganda na mulala panse palina bamifuta abale mironda at least but nanombo ka gassing tatwa mwishibanga ni nani amadi ashiyesa fefina to wa gassing uyu bano ishiba buno ko bature ule gassing ni nani. So ina nangu na yama ino nda nakala tontonganya popali yo ine ndeibu kishano kuibukisha kona bandi then imbi ide yako
wakefi. Okay, wakefi ya lubana network. Again, tumfwe kwa ya number 2 mwenfumu and then tuwala chitakungania sisi. But Christian, Mr. Christian, how are you, boss?
Fine, Mr. Pilato, how are you?
Very fine, boss. Would like to hear your memory of the this government, this regime. Before we go into a newer mandate, a new period, we want to remind ourselves of the scandals that we've been treated to. You can contribute, you can share your thoughts in English, in Nyanja, in whatever language. We want to reach as many people as possible. So speak to us. What really bothered you during this President Lungu's tenure in government?
Thank you so much, Mr. Pilato, for this opportunity. To start with, I think there is a lot to remember about this regime. First and foremost, we should also acknowledge and remember that we are not dealing with genuine people. We are dealing with mafias. Yes. Yeah, and then what I can remember, there are quite a lot. I can go on and on. But what I can remember is, one, I can remember the expired drugs and expired condoms. That had to put the majority Zambians at risk. And in any normal setting in other countries, the minister who was in charge of that ministry was supposed to step down on moral grounds. We can talk about a lot. Mukula, gassing, a lot of things, Mr. Pilato, that we can remember about this government. Anyway, we clap for them because they've built a legacy of corruption, like the other previous person actually said. We will remember them. They'll go down in the history of this country that there were people who were corrupt, mafias, crooks, everything suitable for them.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Mr. Mbototo, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you, and how are you?
So mwefumu namumva contributions ayo send po share my thoughts here before we move to the next set of contributions.
And then it actually 48 houses. It actually 48 houses. I'm sure not to get under also 13 kateko sana. And then I can also remember for my youths, the power tweet that I'm disgruntled. Umurando wako batu ature salapuke charo tu ambo kuchimona. Taturefuaya tube ba janki bonzi. So padana mwene kwati ba youth bafuaya muno muzambia. Nibali aba kwe bati niba janki. Kushati kushamu ya cheese. Mwalumba but na cheese tawaishi kofo imoneka. No kudeta wali hapo. And then iliashi njibu kisha sana. Vameo Burusaka. Atukana animation na dila ya kapishinga niwa maires. Vameo Burusaka ilikuwa iliashi ya mu Chinese. No kuisa bachichi apologize publicly. So ubu teko wali tubika kwe vintu ifingi mu mutwe. Ivyako bachitufuire tureyibukisha. So for ningalomba kofi mayo.
Vamea nishibate pokati wavarombesha obwerere.
Umuchinese alextami street abantu katwishinga alextami street abantu ngayadishani muka shop ngani kubaba shop kuri ati yo kubesha mufya ama Chinese. Bena baye ko balande kwati umuchinese church street abena Zambia. Aba abosi babo nokwisa be batu warufyanya. The betanga wa ebeli abena Zambia chakuchuleni ama Chinese bekale bwino. So meaning inangumunga ndamu Yesu tuikana na bamayo na badadi patandalo mu Chinese. Badadi beta twaisala ala nabona bamami pasitu mu Chinese ala ku bedroom iliyofo yale bilibula. It doesn't make sense. Takwa bevi it is a no. And then Iliashi yamu icho wandi Frankie Mugala. Ni Frankie Mugala. Na nomba tatuwa ishibo wa muipeye. Tuwa mfuide biati yo impolo ya difuma. Nomba kuena fianshi fifuti mukokinga. Mulea mukumona na abantu. Mulea monana na abantu wabashikwete mfuti. But barenda nefi futi fili loaded. So na yena idani can you remember? In any yes, I can remember. Mkwai.
Okay, mfumu lakini tumveko kuri wa Chisanga Frank. Mr. Chisanga Frank, how are you, boss? Chisanga Frankie.
I'm fine, thank you, Pilato. How are you? Hey, Pilato, how are you?
Very fine, very fine.
Mbototo, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you, sir. And how are you?
Mbototo, kwena ine awe ndife bwino shimwana balumendo ifi mwachita ngefe nga mwambire okuchitevi some 5 days ago so that abantu babako alerted nama problems yantu tulepitamo because waliwamu abantu abakwe bati 2 days 3 days alabe fyo kunuma fyale ekitika kubuteeko ine chintu chimwe chinkalipa sana kumutima chakwe bati abana besu ine firstborn wandi apwire school some 5 years ago mwaiche tudabwafe bafuma mu uniform bachita pass out tatwaishi bana recruitment announcement nga yaliko lisa takuli then too kwena omuntu fe okwetamano Pilato inganda ya munobe neba inganda iri mukyalo ubuteeko bwakana okwishiba owayikulire mukyalo kwene government awe nina alifira okukitandastand chimbi chintu Pilato honestly speaking mwaicho wandi abaiche bali mama youth ati baye bachite protest mwabemisha bakapokola honestly speaking muntu nja achitirepo ni president nja achitirepo efyo chimbi chintu Pilato Mbototo ifi mwachita barumendo mwachita bwino sana nombanga mwachiteko 5 days ago shuwa barumendo mwevo ubunga bwadula twayirishanya bayirishanya abantu ubunga nabudu ati yo okugoswana obunga balesta pamutengo wacho sure honestly speaking tiwamba okulattako mpeefyo mwikala muŋŋanda mu myenu nabaneba neba ngalala ensala tyawe kabiri na mwenga mu abaana bobo abalalika ensala tyona paneba tabaliire wena mwebantu bakwalesa kyalo nkikyo nanguli ne common sense ni common sense but kuli bambi common sense yali ba expensive sana. You know, as we are going Mukuvota, some people were supposed to create a very good atmosphere with people. No, but stubbornness, sure, iba tuere na Mukuvota, day ya kuvota, ali stubborn omuntu. Mwirabako pali stubborn first. Takwa abo muntu aba stubborn. Kwatina nimolesa takwa aba kumurushwa mwe bantu imwe. Omuntu ngaimo kweba tinje ndenje Livingstone. Omuntu ulaimo kwenda okuya ku Livingstone. Tafuira kwata passport yakwira pa Livingstone yawe. Chalo nchibaenderepo. Okufuma pasa mpya twaya kuluingwa tikano na okwata passport mwe bantu imwe shuwa. Pilato. Kuki kuya kuli umutengo kuki tuipangira fe mu Zambia. Amasala house over cooking oil ya dula sugar pa mazabuka pa kutia ya dula shani sugar pa Zambia shwa mwe bantu mulande po ati yo mufire muletu sefi but bena balezia awo mwe bantu twilaba ku Pilato twilabo obuchushi twapitamo kwebe na Zambia nga uleikala bwino Pilato olesta akabunga pe manti tekweba tibonse baleshita obunga payment yawe ilo twalavotera obubuteko nga waima nga taule tontonkanya buno nangule tontonkanya buno wayavotera obubuteko ninshikuvotera fya abantu nga ni 50 shanu kwati bakonkanyepo okulaikala bwino n'abaana baabo ifo pano tuperere bamotubomba ena tukita accept tatubomba but abaana besu bafunye baisa bomba kwa the day that are coming. Iwe ni wowa ima we mukulu leba amayuita ni kwa other alternatives ya kwebati mule fwaila mwendalama mwila abafe aido ilio iwe ulebo mba we mukulu honest speaking sure chalo nchicho omuntu alina 70 years 75 76 77 government umwana oli 23 years nchitotale isanga echo abana balenu ino obwa Pilato kweba ati nabali nchira chonse chakwata abana besu pengire mu amachito ni nchito nsaba amayuti ba anya kaya piteri 7 nchito nsaba ngira amayuti takuba ubuteko tabwayiminine pakuwamya iyo nango kweba ati bonsenga twafulanga nitukwacha twakane bena takuli kufa abe kyonse kireba fya waiba 70
but sanga network yakana but I'm sure not too far. I would like to remind our viewers of one particular thing that really bothered me. Now atambisha video mfumu and then we can continue.
Kufa bantu nga twapiriko kufa lesa nkulu takabaleke bonsa bomba mu government na bonsa balanda kundala menshi na bonsa bashaso sako ukuti batwafirishe na wewe na bashire fo kuti batupere lesa no kubachitobu bisana abana bawo bakasambirira batite bakayo kudikonse bakabuke fyalo kuyo kutalinda amashawo bakala babira amapepera bakasenda yo ne akabundya muri bemba mulando kwe batifo batuchusha cyonse fo bakula kita cyonse fika fyalo bana mulando wakwe batifo batuchita ifo fyakalipa fyatuka kutukondo mpaka kumishishi takwaba ko uteko kwa musango uyu ubushumfira abalechuro obulanda ubushumfira abantu balenda mukasuba Oktoba yatupwira pano mukasuba po twaleka padia imfula atampa kuturoka tulamukwika mumanda muri wa mwana wasala basata ushikumande kwa bendala muko batusukushira ba minister of justice batusumina kumanda atoko tie mukolokero imfula ushikumiso office ya ni office ya kusa mkuda vuvu kwa ulo kwa firisha
Oswald Yamban II, Prime TV News.
Yesu Kristo mwisa mulande kwa mwea opa mune mwisa mbadaka suba.
Mwenfumu aboba fyashi besu amongst other pensioners that kept on going to the Ministry of Labor to beg for their monies. and they were told that Fumenyapa. So they kept on going and going, and that was a report by Prime TV, which was closed for obviously airing the views like that. So I would like to hear your reactions to the two contributions, and then we can allow more contributions from our viewers.
Yanjikata kumutima mwemfu mukataidi bamayo balaba fyashibesu ubuteko bale danda ulapo bwafirirwa kubapere ndalama obutumfuiri obuleterera ka formula ka debt swap. So nomba abama civil servants abakali ababomberi obuteko ni state bababikire mu consideration kwena pankida video yena ija mwemfumu yanjikata kumutima. So nombeyo nganaba kwata indalama eshingisha kwebati ama current civil servants tibaba dipirire nkongole bakwata kuma banki oko basenda maloni nishi tetiba konkere tsungu ba group A baranda first come first serve. Nomba abama civil servants batipo baba important chani kuchira ababombere chalo. So mukumona kwandi ifine twisa mukuchitari cycle ba politician cause kwali obotwale monabadi nomo not nakale sana umuntu alondolola chubuteko budi corrupt apela no tumirumbe kwisa umkwati kula kwino budi corruption ekwaingira bamupokerera. So the better ndakwamba twambe vechipiachi pya pantu akwenda twayo yomba mu bantu bakwalesa yamka.
Okay, so we have Banda Lucky. Banda Lucky, how are you?
Fine, thank you. And how are you, Mr. Pilato? Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Thank you very much. You're welcome. Where are you joining us from, Mr. Lucky Banda?
I'm joining you from Kitwe. Today, kunoko ineko butch. Kunoko ineko Kitwe boss.
Share your thoughts. Share your memory too. For you want to remember. You want to hear what you can remember. As you go
so twala itanta mikafie so boss. So kwa the first year time at early 2017. By size urapoka target pandola. Kada kandola kite dio courage we. But it's at pevati yo ilia target boss yali for 400 dikatushin $4 million.
4.8 million US.
Mkwaye nishinita itenya mwishibarebo mfya kufinshi mbina nguni godi nshibarebo mfya pantufye boss kwena 4 million tatule mona boss ero twaisa fumapo boss tapako kwerena sana twaisa mfako amayanda kale abengi bayalanda po amayanda ero baisa ikata kono kuikata ko futi kuliria shiyama hospital yabale kulaya ama hospital baisa twewa tiyo Vale kula tuma hospital, tuma mini hospitals. Each mini hospital by Salanda Tresta cost $150 million. Iama hospitals mwendume and Yaisa Zangavia Tama hospitals no bueno. Iria Valanda Wakipata Paribekan. Ero Baba choose up of Futia TI, Batipasa ma ambulance. After Batipasa ambulance Bururu. Inapezeka futi ati wabo batenga ndalama zishita cost more than cost yogula ambulance kutenga entourage y'abantu kubapereka kwenda tenga ambulance yayo ero mambo bayaleta kuno kapena ize ambulance kaze ma fire truck mukayangana ezi yaja kucha kupasa chabe kuti bapeze kwa moshira dispose tikabwatanga again time pamene hapa kwa bezeka koma honey biscando kwa pezeka koma expired drugs kwa pezeka kona people that were being incriminated or being persecuted by the law, but impezeka the way the cases are finishing from court we are not really sure. These people were high-ranking government officials or had strong ties with the current government. Then tikabwata pitirira futi tikabwata yanganisisa futi zabwatwa nemenena mwina sobera track yama medical supplies that was coming from Lusaka going to Solwezi worth 12 million kwacha tikabwata yangana futi yanganisisa futi just recently wanagula ma tricycle tricycle ambulances, of which wanashita specify ndarama zambiri maningi, but the value of those commodities that were purchased is not really feasible. And then tikangana futi, tikanganisisa. There are certain things that are happening that seem like they are trying to mock us. Things like death swap. So even therefore kuipusha. Okufumina 2016 paka 2021. Tatwaremo na ama civil servants vale chula muli deti nangu twachimona vya papene yokwebati. Ama civil servants vale chula. But to death swap ya kushika muli 2 months. Ironish government has been in power for the past almost over 5 years. Tashirepanga sana sense it's like vadela tiyo. Let us just try to bandage a bleeding ulcer. Mamunaka. Ero na bandage varebo mchani zero tape. Ukawile product ni hani biba bashta. So iremo nega vyati. Tashirepanga sense sana. Mamunaka. So we are just trying to survive nomba in Zambia. Nanguya kwa wati ule turukushafi. Pantifi nangu 4 pini ule fola. Tetu pange budget ya mano. Lipire morenti ubunga shani. So nomba vya kusalapo fya mano. Area nomba repereza ngwati. Awantu. People are resorting to even cannibalism just to earn a living. But anyway, that is not recommended in any other sense. Neither on this platform is it recommended. But we are trying to say that people are resorting to means that are just there to survive or there to help them sustain a livelihood that can be managed with this economy. And this economy, things were not like this. Zambia trading against the South African currency. We can say that this is the worst performing in over 12 years. If we look at the way the kwacha has been performing against the pula, this is the worst performing in over 12 years. Let us not even talk about the figures about the US dollar, because we have seen that the dollar has been skyrocketed to over 200% its original value. So, if you know, even if the economy is improving at this current time, there are several other factors that are beyond us, that are not even in our control. And most of all, the inflation for food commodities is a bit high. So nangwalanda inflation it is for supplies, like for companies. For food, cooking oil is too high. And those are the things that the average Zambian on the street survives or lives on. So even there and that, even today, send a receipt ya ShopRite. Ushtemo fia sugar, ubunga, na cooking oil, 2 liters. Ngawe for a reference, ukaremo na fia receipt ya ine pa kuvota. Otherwise, you feel it. You feel it. Let us remember.
Thank you, Lucky.
Thank you so much.
We have Marty the Spider.
Papa, Laka.
Hey,
Laka. Mbototo we mpondo.
Yeah, greetings, Spider.
Yeah, ichakubalirapo kumbali anti without eating much of the time nalambira pali 2018 protest ya twachaire. If you remember it vaishire konka amakadha zvokuisa turasa mawe. We were protesting for accountability, of which a lot of people were against of that, which was a normal thing. Not for you, Pilato, not for me as Madji, not for Mbototo or any other person who attended that protest. But the government, I would say the government, connected to the government. So for me, I think it's one thing I'll start with. Then the next thing, I will remember Frankie Mogara, a young boy who was killed. The other thing is, I'll remember Vespas Shimozila. Those are the reasons I'm even planning to wake up as early as 03 to go and vote. The other thing
We hear
is
that lining up.
Come again?
We hear that people in Livingstone have started lining up.
Oh yeah. Even me, because where I am right now is just about 3-minute walk from where I am. Kuya Park Votera. So the moment I'll just hear that people are there, I'll Kuya Vota. Yeah, so we are remembering a lot of things. There is honeybee scandal, which twalimu natakulefya chitikepo pali ilya scandal. Kuliko ama issues like 42 fire trucks. Then at some point we were called disgruntled youths for trying to stand for what is right. Yeah, and the other thing, the other thing is we are also remembering.
Chain fast, move. Chain fast.
Okay. So yeah, last year we are also remembering the one person who was saying if they go and protest, we are asking you police officers to go and break their bonds. That I can't forget it. Yes. I think Nala Peresha Pari ne Papa.
Okay, Papa, thank you very much. Yama Mbototo, ndefwa mtupo kwele padi yama kondo mtukontorwele then we get nama thoughts yenu, then we can get some more. But I'm also inviting, I want to hear from our ladies, women, females, ladies, girls. We want to hear your words. We want to hear your thoughts. We've heard a lot of from the sausage party. Most sausage members and we want to hear from the women. We want to hear from the women. So we want to hear your thoughts. The link is in the comments. You find the link, click on it. We want to hear you, especially if you're a lady or a woman or a girl. We want to hear your thoughts. As you go to vote tomorrow, what is it that you remember? What scandal bothered you so much that as you go to vote tomorrow, it will be on your mind? We need to remind ourselves. They always say that Zambians forget too quickly and too easily. Like we are not a difficult people. We can be fooled. We can be lied to at any point. They will say, no, they'll forget during voting time. So they can steal from us. They can give us poison. They can do anything. They think that when it's time to vote, we'll forget. Now, this program is for us to remind ourselves so that as we go to vote tomorrow, we have it on at the back of our mind that the voter 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things. So, Kanavesa, I want to hear your MQual. You can pick it up.
Maggi, the spider, explained it so clear that it needs no further clarification. Propound. So, I'll just remind you, in case you've forgotten, umuntu womba mu government. At that time, COVID-19 yari pa korasi. Padaile isafira batu lirire kono tuma funds batu motuma donations badia. Ero kisa nini ko muntu kweta ma COVID-19 samples. Ukumutuma katuishi ngale fuma kukasempa. Ukuisa kuno kulusa ko kumunini kachibasi ero afuira munshira. Iliata tuwa karabere ya linji katasa na mwafupa. Ila text ila beno kuila. I think let me just cut it right there. I can see a woman somewhere
there. Let me get, I want to have a lady. Okay, so we have Mr. Mumbaka Sonde. Mumbaka Sonde, how are you, sir?
I'm good, thank you. And how are you, Mr. Pilato?
We're grateful. We are well and ready to vote tomorrow. Where are you joining us from, sir?
Just within Lusaka in Olympia. That's where I'm joining you from.
All right. We'll be happy to hear your memory and share with us why it bothered you so much.
Okay, for me, what bothered me much about the PF government from 2016 to 2021 now is the power that was given to the cadres. That's the first one. I think that one really pains me. If you look at the guards that these cadres have, even that incident of where we had that cadre who went to the Central Police to beat up a police officer, I think, and you know, that person was left to go scot-free. For me, that was so painful. It shows the levels of lawlessness that.
He's standing as an MP.
Yes, I've also noticed there he's also standing as an MP. You can imagine. So you can imagine the levels of lawlessness that this country is heading to. Then also, one other thing is Boma Lusambo. You know, there's this time when Panji Kaunda was commenting on Tasila Lungu's land. Yeah, the issue of mismanagement of funds and all those. Yes, then Boma Lusambo says 2 million kwacha is money for shopping. You can imagine what levels of what levels of corruption that the PF I don't know really, but yeah, all those scandals really pain me a lot. I know a lot of people have talked about other issues to do with police brutality also. That was the other issue that and also one other one is the basis on which your organization was formed, which is the issue to do with the freedom of speech also. And also accountability, yes, whereby we lost the power to ask the government and to question, even to provide checks and balances. We had lost the power to do all that because it is our right. We are the taxpayers, but we never had the right to question the government and ask how our money is being spent and where it is being used. Then the other thing is also the 30 million kwacha for artists. Okay, I don't know if that money was also budgeted for. There was that amount of money. Then there's also a lot of money which was released for youth empowerment. We're not saying it's a bad thing; it's a good thing. But the question is, was that amount of money budgeted for? Okay, so we saw the.
So have they given out the full amount? Because we're talking about 30 million kwacha to the artist, but what was disbursed was less than $1 million kwacha, if you ask me.
Yeah, that's also actually you are right, and also there was no auditing for the same finances, and we don't know if the same people who are given they're going to if they were given for free or they'll pay it back, because if they'll not pay it back, I feel it was also very unfair to other artists who did not receive that same amount of money. So there are all those issues in PF, and yeah, no wonder that's the reason why we are saying we have to go for change this time around. And by 03 hours, we'll be at the polling station waiting to vote, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So we just had the power cuts.
Okay.
We're told that load shedding here. So I don't know if this is not load shedding. I don't know what it's called. Thank you very much.
No, we really appreciate it. Thank you so much, sir. And have a blessed night.
And vote wisely tomorrow.
Yeah, please, we'll do vote wisely. Thank you.
Okay, sure. So I'm gonna do. I want to play one video which I played, and then we'll continue. Just one video that I find I think people should remind ourselves. It's an investigation that was done on mukula tree. We played it, but we'll play it again.
In Zambia, there has been national outcry regarding the illegal trade of a rare species of rosewood called mukula.
These are illegal traders. These are illegal people trading in mukula. Anyone who is transporting is illegally doing it.
Zambian President Edgar Lungu and his ministers have condemned the illegal trade, banning the cutting and export of this precious wood. What the Zambian people don't know is that behind closed doors, their politicians reportedly profit from the sale of mukula.
So what we are here is to try to buy some mukula.
That's right.
Yes. Can you still do
That's
it?
my business.
Oh, that's your business.
That's my business. Yes.
Okay. Is that we're concerned of? Is that impossible or is that illegal or legal?
It was illegal, but this state is open.
It's what?
It's open.
Now it's open.
People are taking it.
Okay. Secretively or
not to everybody.
Okay.
Not everybody. Only prosecution.
How
And
many?
even myself now, I alone, I cannot do it.
You cannot do it. Okay. Oh, you don't hire people.
Yeah.
Of course.
Number 3.
Number 3, as the minister or
Minister. Justice.
The Minister of Justice, Mr. Given Lubinda, is apparently part of a network of top-level government officials involved in the illegal mukula trade, according to individuals involved in the trade who spoke to undercover investigators. This network reportedly includes the state-owned company Zafico, the Minister of Land and Natural Resources Jean Capita, a senior chief in the Muchinga province, Kafula Musungu II, and even the president's daughter, Tasila Lungu.
Whatever comes in, she has an ear to the ground. She will, is it not?
who is she?
The daughter.
The daughter of the president.
Yes.
Of course.
Whatever comes, the moment she gets wind of it.
What's your name?
Tasila.
Casina.
She's a counselor.
The timber business is her side business.
The father knows everything.
This illegal trade is being driven by demand in China. Chinese traders admitted to paying off government officials to circumvent Zambian law, implicating President Lungu himself.
总统给不到，
总统的
部长以上。
部长以上，你部长不会亏钱。
我又不需要跟部长去接触，我接触的是总统身边的人。
就给总统
收钱的。
While Zambians suffer from the reduction in public funds, increased power outages due to load shedding, salaries withheld from civil servants, and the rising cost of food, according to traders, money from the still thriving mukula trade lines the pockets of politicians. In August 2019, the International Convention on Endangered Species took important steps to protect mukula. These measures are only as good as their implementation. The apparent corruption and exploitation of the species raises grave concerns about how the International Convention will be enforced in Zambia. Zambia's forests urgently need protection from this mukula cartel before they are plundered to extinction.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'm sure we can remember the mukula issue. I wanted us to remind ourselves on that mukula issue. But anyway, we invite the professor, Mr. Professor. I'm not stupid at all. I'm not stupid at all. Sorry, Mr.
Hi, Pilato. How are you?
Very fine, Mr. Professor. How are you?
I'm guarding these things. They might attack me. So if they kill me, they kill this or so.
That's what we want to hear. That's what we want to hear. Yes, you are going to post tomorrow. Tell us one scandal or something that bothered you a lot, and as you watch tomorrow, you have it at the back of your mind.
Yeah. Firstly, there's one thing that really bothered me a lot.
Yes.
But before I go to that, I'll first talk of the mukula thing. How I wish these people, they can have more like a review of what they've been doing. They cannot even be doing the things that they are doing. But anyway, away from that, I want to comment on the Youth Empowerment Fund.
Yes.
Pilato, you're an artist.
Yes.
Despite you being an activist, you're also an artist. I want you to, I'll ask you a question. I want you to respond to this to the audiences that are watching. Have you ever benefited as an artist from that Youth Empowerment Fund?
Not at all. Nothing.
So,
not even a
the
coin.
very people, the very people who are benefiting, because they are the beneficiaries of that youth empowerment. Us, we are youths, but not even a peanut from it. So now, what will give me a confidence to go and say, no, I'll give them this? Honorable, hope you see this. We'll meet tomorrow.
Thank
We
you,
are ready
Professor.
for you, sir.
Thank you.
So, a lot of things are in a mess. If it was a movie, I wouldn't want to watch it, to be honestly speaking.
Yo, that's deep.
That's why one of the American politicians says, I would rather vote for a billionaire who wants to be a politician than to vote for a poor person who wants to be a politician, because their target will be in their pockets. I think I'll end there. Don't want to talk much.
Okay,
Tell them we'll meet tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll
Sure,
meet.
sure. We have a lady finally. Abiji. Hey, Abiji, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you. I'm
Yes,
afraid.
we want to hear your thoughts on voting tomorrow and what scandal that reminds you that you always remember as people vote tomorrow.
Firstly, can I just say I'm really gutted that I can't be there in person to vote for myself, because I had every intention of being there this year, having gladly got my Zambian passport only 10 years ago. So I was intending to vote without a doubt. But anyway, COVID aside, it burns my heart so badly to have the reputation of a beautiful country with amazing political governance 10 years ago to be where it is now. I'm ashamed when I'm in the public and I say I'm Zambian. They go, oh, that troublesome country. Was never something that was associated with my birth country. I used to proudly run around the world, go, I'm Zambian, but you know the peaceful one. Oh yeah, that one, we know that. Now they can't say that. I can't say that gladly. But the only way we can turn this around is if each one of you that's eligible to vote, please don't underestimate the power of your vote. I know we say this all the time, but an election can only be rigged if the numbers are too close. So the bodies have got to get up and vote. If you've got your grandmother, your sister, your cousin, whoever it is, I don't care who you are, as a family, make a day out of it and watch while they count it. Make your vote count. I can't be there. I can't underestimate and can't emphasize to all of you what a momentous opportunity you have to restore that political governance and that peaceful nation that we're known to be. You know, we're beautiful people, fundamentally we are, but we can't let the hungry, selfish, overindulgent individuals corrupt our nations. It's only a little minute group of people, and they shouldn't be our voice, because that's not who we are. And that's what I can say.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Vote wisely. Hello. Can I just say, I'm not ashamed to say this, but I'm just saying, please vote wisely. Milo. We love marriage.
So we have Beverly. Hi,
Pilato, my number. Achanya po ako pala. Propa, mledon telela. Okay, I'm calling from England. I'm in the UK.
Hey, England, my son.
I'm quite Tasha. Oh my God. I must say, first of all, thank you so much for the job. Well done, Pilato. Whatever you've been doing, I've been following your works. It's amazing. If we have people like you, a lot of people like you, Zambia will have a better Zambia. No. Sorry about that. And first thing I want to talk about that really made me cry is when you guys were protesting. Michael, and then you couldn't really express yourselves peacefully, even though anything like that, you couldn't use your voices to air your views. That was sad. Running away from your homes to go mumpanga shuwa mumpanga that was just we were watching, and then we were honestly, is this the Zambia we have? Time yaba sata, time yaba rupia banda, everybody to alesta protest. Pwema bikirepo ba PF mfuewo ama youths. Remember mundi wa sata, to vote out rupia banda, we are the youths that voted for Sata because we wanted the change. You understand? Ero nomba baisa, whereby ichintunga tawach bombele. Something that you never worked for, it's easily destroyed. Sata worked for PF. Lungu baisa tabai bombele PF. They never used to go muda mumasho mumijole balea muda mumushi with guys codes. Only to come and throw guys code like it was nothing. And now you come to me and talk about tribalism. After the people that worked for each pancha PF, PF. You understand? So what we want is a government that's going to bring unity in Zambia. That's what we want. Equal opportunities to everybody. Not bamubaleseka, bamutabaleseka. Only a few Zambians can actually, say, basekera mumuli government wakwata. Otherwise, 75% of the Zambians bale chula. Another thing I want to talk about is the gassing. We, up to now, to today, we don't know who did that. I'm a gassing and it's unbelievable. Honestly, it's sad to see things that are happening in our own country. But Pokama voices, and then Nemio Shon Sebade Poka, The shooting of Nsama in broad daylight, Mwebantu bakwalesa. Umuntu afumaba namu kuja lunch. That was terrible. In broad daylight. Na no mbata twa ishiba if you atitika padi justice yawa Nsama. May he so rest in peace. We don't know what has happened. Yet, people like Bena Chirufia Baleshta, minister of Baleshta expired drugs with Nama condoms, Yatulaika, and whatever. Somebody does a crime, that's a crime that needs to, go unpunished. On top of that, Bapanga ama mess up Yaraba Pangile, Babwela Wabashtana Katunya ni promotes. When the actual crimes are going unpunished, those are the ones that are getting punished. Is this the Zambia that we want? Is this the Zambia that we're going to give to the generation to come? What are we going to leave for this generation that is to come? Because ngatwaona foundation yesu. Na abe na wale isa generation tapere bakakwata. Impanga ngatwaona ula. Tabakalime. You understand?
Yes. Thank you, Beverly. Let me accommodate a few more. We'll be closing in the few minutes. Let me just accommodate a few more contributions. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Jairos Bandanguzu. Bwanji, how are you, sir?
I am good. How are you?
Very fine, very fine. We are happy that you joined in and would like to hear one thing that's on your mind when you think of the PF regime and one thing that bothered you and why it bothered you.
Yeah, I must begin by thanking you. I think that you have been doing a good job. I remember that time you were with the other activists, and because of the police brutality, you had to go outskirts, out of Lusaka, somewhere in the bushes to still speak for us who can't be heard. So that was very good and encouraging. For me, I think, one of the things that stand out is the issue of expired drugs and that got supplied, and to see that the people who were responsible for that were not held accountable. And we have not heard up to this time any report regarding gassing or the 48 houses and many other vices, many other things that happened. The shootings, it seems like we are lacking leadership because we have not heard anything. So for me, I think that people should vote for change, and I'm going with that tomorrow as I wake up. So that's the message that I have. Yeah.
Thank you very, very much. I want to accommodate the last contribution. The last contribution. Who is lucky? Who is lucky? Who is lucky? Who is lucky? Dun, dun, dun. Like I have about 100 people in the waiting room here. Okay, I'm gonna give it to Fanwell. Mr. Fanwell, how are you? Wait, Fanwell. Fanwell seems not to have a network. Mizinga. Mizinga. This happened yesterday, right? Okay, Mr. Mizinga, I don't think I can hear you. I really want to close. Sani.
Mr. Pilato.
Bwanji wasani mwata.
Mwata Mungili.
Mwata Mungili.
Bagamba.
You are our last participant. We want to hear
Yes, sir.
one scandal that bothered you, one scandal that you go with in the voting booth
No,
tomorrow.
So one scandal that bothered me most is the scandal whereby the president himself went like he was telling our government to say Kutimwaiva. That's what it meant to me. Kutimwaiva, but not Kuibira kumone Mbototo. You get the point?
That's what
he was advising. He was advising his followers to say Kutivaiva, but not kumone Mbototo. That really bothered me. I mean, it shouldn't come from a leader like the head of state trying to say abantu baleiva, but not kumone Mbototo.
That's very concerning, and I remember that too well. Thank you very much for reminding us.
All right, Mr. Pilato.
So thank you very much for everybody that tuned in. I must confess that I have about 100 people in my waiting room, and time cannot allow. What we'll do is tomorrow, after the voting, we can just create a platform like this for tomorrow, so we can just express ourselves. But we must end here now and allow ourselves to rest, sleep properly. Then tomorrow we can vote wisely. Hallelujah, church. Hello, church. Hallelujah. Okay, so see you tomorrow.